Crappy.
We should start every show like this.
Yo.
We should start every show like this.
Can't hear you. That helps. That also helps.
You just totally killed my vibe, man.
Still can't hear you.
That's not true.
Oh. I had my volume all the way down.
You totally ruined my morning vibe, dude. By pouring what sounded like grape nuts into the microphone when I have this amazing song playing.
Listen, you can't just jump on the DMX train because the guy's dead and try and be cool, Matt.
My kids and I were jamming to that this morning. And you're like pouring like whatever the fuck you're pouring like directly into the microphone.
I know.
Oh, remember this one?
Turn the bass line up.
It's the new morning show we got. Coming up, weather and sports right now. It's Hard Knock Life, Jay-Z, Volume 2.
Most overrated rapper of all time, Jay-Z? Or
Most
what?
overrated rapper? Oh, there are so many more overrated rappers.
Name one.
Oh, my God. Overrated rapper. I'm only on cup number 2, Josh. Most overrated rapper. We want to know. Hop on our Twitter poll. Most overrated rapper. Who is the most overrated rapper?
Is it Puff Daddy? P. Diddy? Sean Puffy Combs? Whatever he goes by now.
Could be. I don't know. We're taking your calls. 556-7577. Give us a call. Let us know. Sixth caller wins a pair of tickets to the something rap air horn.
Blah, 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 blah. Ugh.
Every horrible fucking radio show ever. And they're still the same, by the way. They're still the same.
They are still the same. I don't understand it.
It's 2021.
Be like, we got Miranda's social check-in coming up next. Find out who's blowing who on TikTok.
Even the famous people, though, right? Like, I'll go, the videos pop up on my feed, right? Whether it's YouTube or Facebook, and it's like Will Smith or the Fresh Prince. Those are the same people. I think it's somebody else. The third guy from a sitcom is going to tell you about this thing that happened. And I'm like, oh, I might be interested in that. And so I turn it on, but then there's the guy and the girl and the third guy all talking to him, all laughing loud into the microphone. And it's like, I don't want to hear any of this fucking shit. You guys fucking blow.
Yep. You haven't reinvented yourself. You haven't fucking done anything. Just awful.
Why is anybody listening to morning radio in 2021?
Because they have nothing else to do in the car. They haven't discovered podcasts. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. There's an endless supply. XM Radio, Spotify.
Nobody's going to pay. XM Radio is stupid. Don't pay for radio.
Apple Music. Well, it comes with your car, I think, a lot of times.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Maybe the first year free. They don't just give it to you because you buy a car. They might give you the first year free.
They do.
They do not.
Listen, Josh, I wasn't going to say this to you, but behind this door is a surprise party for you about your fucking age group award, and that's what I'd planned this morning, and you're fucking it all up!
Well, let me tell you, Matt, fucking spring is in session because apparently every day now, I just wake up and get fucking punched in the face by every piece of pollen that exists in the world. I wake up every morning to a notification. There's probably one on my phone right now. Yup, here it is. High pollen alert. Fucking everywhere. This morning, it's maple, cedar, juniper, birch, and oak. It's every tree as far as I know. So I'm sorry if you hear me sniffle. I'm sorry if you catch me blowing my nose, but I am just a hot polleny mess right now.
Don't pour grape nuts into the microphone. That's all.
I am sorry. That was my fault because I didn't realize the volume was all the way down. Usually, at least like my Windows laptop will be like, your volume is off. Would you like to unmute? It's the one thing it does right. It can't reboot. It can't do anything else right.
I've shared this. I get a notification here pretty frequently that's like, your music's too loud. And I'm like, who are you talking to? Like, who the fuck are you talking to? My music is not too loud. This is the volume I listen to it on. iPhone.
Well, it's too loud for acceptable ear decibel levels.
Well, is that a whisper? Because I don't crank it. You know, I listen to podcasts at like a somewhat normal level. Why don't you just turn off the loud noise notifications, Matt? Where do I do that?
I don't know, Matt. It's not up to me to find that. Google it, okay? It's definitely in there somewhere.
I mean, I can turn off the Amber Alerts, right?
Loud noise notifications. iPhone.
Amber alerts,
Go
emergency
go
alerts,
to
public safety alerts.
Matt. Go to settings, sounds and haptics, headphone safety, and then turn off headphone notifications.
That's why I have a show with you, Josh. By the way, I'm turning all these off now. So if there's an emergency in my town, I will not know. Boop.
Well, the real ones will still come through.
I'm sure that if fucking the fucking missiles are on the way, someone will tell me.
Yeah, that one will come through no matter what.
Right. Sounds and haptics, Josh. Sounds and haptics. Well, some people have their click sound on. That's a definite turn off. Sent mail, calendar alerts, reminder alerts. What's it called? Headphone safety.
Yep.
Last 6 months, see, March was at a 3, April was at a 4. Lightning adapters. What the fuck are you doing? There's no on or off, buddy. There's just reduce loud sounds. That's all there is.
I don't know what to tell you.
Somebody from Apple, hop on here. It's not on.
Get Amelia Boone back on here. Amelia.
I just talked to Amelia yesterday. Now you laugh, Josh. But we're gonna go right. We're gonna go. No. We're gonna wait. We're gonna put that on. Hang on. Let me make a note.
What the fuck? The fucking leg is in the way.
Did you put any notes in the hopper this week? Probably not, because you're so fucking lazy.
Yeah, go ahead and open those notes and eat your goddamn words, will you? Put all the notes. You didn't even put any.
Nano. All right, Josh. We're gonna convert Davis and Chase right now to the Obstacle Racing Media Podcast. You ready?
Okay.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Obstacle Racing Media Podcast. My guest today, he got his first ever legit age group award at a real big race with real people. His name's Josh Chase. Let's get to it. Away we go. Josh Chase. Oh, he's holding, ladies and gentlemen, audio listeners, he's holding a miniature axe, which could chop off the balls of a Smurf, perhaps. I don't know what other uses you'd have for it.
I could definitely take down David the Gnome with this son of a bitch. Yeah, my tiny axe.
So, we do joke a lot, and I, for one, do take a lot of funsy laps. I know I've known that. I know you take OCRWC seriously. I know you're all about keeping your band. I don't know if we've, at Savage and Spartan, I know you probably give it your best, but I don't know that we've talked about you going for an AG award or what was your plan today when you got on the start line, other than not helping me. What was your plan on Savage, Savage, Maryland?
Yeah, actually, the primary reason for running this was to get out of helping you, helping your show succeed further. No, I decided last year around this time that I wanted to put a lot of effort into my running, and I've spent literally the last year just pretty much doing nothing but running. I do a little bit of strength and grip work on the side, but I just wanted to say, could I actually do it? Now, here's the thing. I'm going to preface this by saying I did get second place in my age group at Savage. However, my running still is shit compared to the people that are out there on that course. The one thing that did save me was obstacle prowess.
Well, there we go. That's obstacle racing, my friend.
Yep. So I'm pretty sure it came down to that final rig, and you guys saw it, right? It was just chewing through people.
We saw it.
You saw it. I came up to this rig fully knowing that there was going to be a good amount of people there. So by the time I got there, there was definitely a good chunk of people. And there's when nobody can complete it, everybody's just kind of staring at it. It's sort of like a beached whale. Like everybody's on the beach looking at it, not really doing anything. They're just like, there's a thing there. So I just kind of walked up and I was like,
they weren't doing the George Costanza, like, easy there, big fella. Or what's the line?
I looked into its blowhole and I pulled out. Is that a Titleist?
Apparently he did that in one take. They said they wrote that script like that morning and he did it in one take. I said, easy there, big fella. Sorry. One of George's proudest moments.
So yeah, went up to the rig. It was a daunting looking rig with the cargo net you had to go under. By the way, Matt, heard your little shout out to me during that one. It was pretty easy.
I said the net's going to be taller for taller people.
The main reason I think it was easier is than like OCRWC is the net was roped down at the bottom, so it was a pretty solid bottom. If it was just free hanging and flopping around, that might have been different.
Let's hope Lee doesn't listen to this.
Let's hope he does. Yeah, and then I had scoped the rig in the morning, so I saw the rings. That's a clever little get up where the rings had slack tied to each one of them. So I knew that was coming, and got through there and zipped right on to the finish line. Checked my results. I honestly didn't think I was going to be as high as I was because, not to take a shot at David Magida, but very early into that race, I was the first person in the second pack. I looked back at one point and I was like, there's 3 people back there. And I don't know if you caught it. I haven't seen the whole feed, but at one point I'm in Lumberjack Lane, which was, it had to be 6 miles at minimum. It was insane how long that thing was. And I'm coming through Lumberjack Lane and here's Bo running down the course. And I was like, well, I'm about to get passed by girls, obviously, because you're not here to film me, Bo. Right. So shortly after the girls came by me in Lumberjack Lane. But yeah, it was, I've been working on my running as best I can, with the hopes that it puts me in a better place to compete. And I am going to compete at most of the races I run at this year. I still do fun laps with Molly. Obviously, she's still recovering. But I always knew Savage was one that I could sort of at least push the competition, based both on the fact that I'm a little faster, but my obstacle prowess, I think, will carry me through and make up for a lot of it. So, yeah, I'm pretty proud of it.
Well, I certainly was proud of you. I was proud of your awkward podium photo.
The awkwardest.
Right.
Well, they don't really take any photos of you. They just call you up. So you got to rely on other people to have.
No, they run through them pretty quick because there's a lot of them, right? And sometimes people leave. They don't know they've made the podium. What's his name up there? I forget his name. Does a great job. The festival, the festival / DJ guy. I'm sorry, I forget his name. I've only known him for fucking 10 years. Sorry, guy. Feel horrible. He knows my name. I don't know his name. I feel horrible. People are yelling it into their phone right now. So you said your running still isn't there. How many minutes would you need to, like, how many minutes did the winner get you by? I haven't looked yet. Sorry.
I did look. It was a couple minutes. It wasn't anything ridiculous, but it was a couple minutes. Let me pull it up real quick because now I want to know. Find your results. By the way, Savage, just if I had 4 thumbs, I would give you 4 thumbs up for having that savagerace.com / or like savagerace.info. It's everything you need for like your race day, all in one simple site. It's so simple.
How about that? I can find the results the second after they happen. Unlike Spartan, like I go into the Spartan website, and if I type in Montana, it gives me either next year or Utah. I go to Athlinks, and I find the Ultra Beast results, but not the sprint results because those are a different fucking page. I mean, for fuck's sake, Spartan.
Yeah. And I go to Athlinks, and you would think like most times you just go like Spartan Montana, and you have to be like the Spartan Beast at Kalispell month. Like exactly. You have to find the secret code. All right, I don't want to talk about Spartan. Matthew Lister was in first place, who is somebody that I've seen in my age group constantly. He beat me by 9 minutes. So, and then the rest of us were all bunked together I was 118. Corey Edwards, shout out to Corey, fan of the Discord. Me and him on the podium. He was 119. Kevin LaPlatney, Mr. Mudman, I forget his name. He was 120. Joselito Ponce, he was 121. Like the rest of us, after Matt Lister, were pretty tightly packed. So
did Mudman get?
Mudman got 4th place.
He owns a fucking gym, dude. He owns a fucking ninja gym. So you should be very proud.
He's busy, man. He's raising a new kid. He's got all kinds of stuff going on.
Listen, Josh. What do you think about all these fucking moms out there? Birthing kids and fucking shit. Don't make excuses for.
All right.
Keith Allen is now buddies with the Mudman because they live close to each other. So I gotta text him right now. Josh, he might be older than you. I can't remember. I love it that all you guys are fucking getting older. You finally know how I feel, but it's trippy, dude, because it means that I met a lot of people when they were like babies, right? So like I talked to Emilio yesterday. You know me, big name dropper. I talked to Hunter a lot lately, and I'm like, how old are you now? And it's like, he's only like 33 or 34. And I'm like, so I've been talking to you since you were a baby, since you were like fucking 21 or 22 years old? That's insane.
Like, what a creeper I am.
It's just weird to me that all these years later, they're still a lot younger than me. Well, Josh, I'm proud of you, buddy. I give you an awful lot of a hard time, but I'm super proud of you, buddy.
Thanks, man. That was a good day. That was a good day. I was very excited for that. I'll be interested to see how it translates at Spartan. I don't think I competed that same level at Spartan. I think I might be able to pull top 10 in Austin in a couple weeks, but
listen, it begs the question, right? Do you want to be good at obstacle racing? Or you don't want to be good at Spartan racing?
Right. That's the balance. I know for me, My obstacle prowess is definitely better than my running, but it's hard to compare those two things. My running is better than it's ever been. I've run my fastest 5K, my fastest 10K, my fastest half marathon all in the last year. But comparatively to what these people are doing that are out there, I'm not even close to some of them. So if it comes down to, I can just, I don't want to be the person that I walked the course, but I beat all the obstacles. I'd like a good balance of the two. So again, OCRWC, I'm not going to be anywhere up there in my age group because there are people that have the balance of both. But Savage, if I can compete at Savage, then that's fine. Savage obstacles are just fucking awesome, man. Everything about them is awesome.
Sam's listening to this. God damn it, Sam. Don't be mean to Josh. Sam was being mean to you.
Sam was being mean to me? Why?
Well, we talked about this.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, you do what you do, which is argue online, and you piss some people off, so...
Sorry.
Well, I just gotta say, I love it, though. I love it. People used to just hate me. So anytime people hate Josh, I just feel slightly better. I'm just like... Seriously, it's like when my wife is super pissed at the kids. I'm like, all right, it's not towards me.
You're like, thank God. Come on. No, it's just like everything, even like the simplest little obstacles, right? Look at Holy Roller that we came up to yesterday or Saturday. It's not an impressive obstacle. It's not you're going to blow your brains out. It's not going to take a bunch of bands, but it's just nice to have something new and different every time you get to it. And their rig, 5 out of 5 races this year, 5 or 4? 5, I think. 4 maybe. 4. Every rig has been challenging, has been the topic of conversation, and Lee loves it. He loves building these rigs and challenging people and coming up with these creative new solutions. Now, presumably, you'll get to a point where you sort of run out of steam and you can't think of new things. But the one thing I heard people talking about yesterday or Saturday is imagine a full rig of just those rings on Slack where you have maybe 4 sets of them or 5 sets of them, and you have to kind of figure that transition out over and over again that could be a whole thing. Battering Bird is no friggin' joke. So I love all their stuff. Sawtooth is awesome. Big fan.
Yeah. And I think we've accepted that Spartan isn't ever going to get into the arms race, as Joe called it, of consistently doing new obstacles. And I guess I'm okay with it. If this is what we do, and there are people that specify, and I think Faye Stenning, right? Phenomenal obstacle racer, fastest woman out there on pretty much any given day, has said, I'm not going to do a CRWC. I don't want to do those obstacles. I want to be really good at a certain thing. And I guess that's your choice, right? Just like you can choose only to do stadiums, or you can choose okay, I'm going to be this hybrid person. I
right.
think I used to judge that more, but I think it's all right, choose your thing. And there's probably a happy medium for Spartan, because they are a worldwide company, right? They're not Savage. They can't just make it up on the fly. They're a worldwide company. They've got to have standards. They've got to have what's the word? Efficiencies. I get all that. There's probably somewhere in the middle between that and inventing an obstacle like pipe layer. There's probably a happy medium somewhere.
I think it'll be pretty telling, because I've run 3 Savages since COVID began, since my last Spartan race, right? My last Spartan race was in March of last year, in February of 2020.
Was it in Jacksonville, the home of obstacle racing?
Technically, it was Greek Peak, was actually the one after that. But yeah, I think it'll be telling when we go to Austin how I feel about, I know that my heavy carry abilities and all that stuff is definitely better than it used to be, because I never used to give any regard to that shit. I hate that stuff. So we'll see. We'll see how
But at your lightest, you're a pretty big dude, so I think that stuff's going to be easier for you. What are you at your lightest, Josh Chase?
I usually hover around 186, 188, right in that realm.
So you're already 30 pounds heavier than every guy out there, right? All these skinny fucking even the muscularly skinny guys, right? So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that shouldn't sweat you too much, right?
Right. Yeah, it's not that I can't complete them. It's, I'm not going to be running with a bucket on my shoulder like Ryan Atkins, right? And that's just not.
Josh. That's maybe.
I probably should be, but I just won't. And then the other crap, sandbag carries if they happen. Herc hoist. None of that's an issue.
I think one of these days, because I talk about not caring. One of these days, I think I might, right? Maybe after Ode to Laz. I'm just saying maybe. Don't hold me to it. I don't know how I'm going to feel. Maybe after Ode to Laz. Or maybe after 2021, I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna spend time getting good at obstacles, and then I can like race my friends. Like, because I've wanted to race my friends at like a savage, but I don't because I know I can't complete the obstacle, so there's no point. But maybe I'll finally go that route and like work on some grip strength and work on. But right now, I like running really long, and that's kind of my fun. That's fun for me. So
yeah, and I mean I've had like years where I've done that, where I've just sort of changed the focus. Like I've had the long run endurance year where I did all the ultras and all this stuff. And then I've had the obstacle years. So that's, I think, what keeps the sport interesting and new. Like if we can't rely on companies like Spartan to reinvent themselves every year, they're not going to do it. So you have to sort of figure out yourself how you want to do it. Like, do you want to be that person that competes every single day at every single race? I don't know if that would be appealing to me. I say that because I don't do it. If I was winning a podium every bloody race, it might be different, but you just got to find your, for lack of a better term, you got to find your why. I hate that. Just what makes it for you. Could be whatever,
Josh,
how'd the coverage go?
The coverage was great. I think the coverage gets better every time. I think I've said to you, I think having Bracken is phenomenal. I think it's probably a really good combo to have the athlete and the regular person, right? So, like, I love Ryan Woods, right? And he's great, but he's like, I'm kind of wacky and he's wacky, so you don't need that much wacky, right?
Too much wackiness.
Too much fucking wacky, right?
Yep.
But a guy like Bracken, right, is great because he brings it's and I've said this before, I will say it again, it's not just the knowledge of what obstacles are or what elites bring, because a lot of people can do that, right? Like obviously whoever you have that's an athlete, but an entire lifetime, it's just a complete, like I listened to their Riker interview and everyone's talking about the personal part of the Riker interview, and of course that was great, but also this whole concept of what he did in college and how he runs and what his fastest times were, and like I never ask that shit. I kind of sometimes do, but from just a different perspective. So I just think it's a great combo having him on there.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's got a mind for that competitive side of it that we don't. As much as I think I know the athletes and what they're capable of, like the true athletes have that extra level that he brings every time. So
right, but also
we just got to prop him up on his seat a bit. He's very low.
I did notice that. I was wondering why he was so low. I did notice that.
I think he's just got his camera up high on his thing. So
I did notice that. But overall, the people love it, right? And we love bringing it to you, right? So the people, like the comments are flying in, and people love it, and they help us sometimes when we say who's that guy or gal.
Yep.
So yeah, dude, live coverage, man, it's where it's at.
It's blowing up, folks.
Speaking of live coverage, Josh, we've got a couple weeks coming up. You're not going to believe this, Josh. Pull up the old calendar. Hang on one second. Today is the 3rd of May, right?
Can't believe that. Guess what comes in tomorrow?
The 4th be with you.
Well, there also, yes, it's a Star Wars Day, but the VJ Ultras get delivered here tomorrow.
Wah, wah, wah.
There are VJ Ultras passing each other in the sky everywhere like nukes, traveling all over this country to wanted customers.
No, let's play global thermal nuclear war. Where was I, Josh?
You were looking at the race coverage coming up for a few weeks.
God, Josh, don't throw me off here. On the 14th of May, I travel to West Palm to cover the West Palm DECA Trifecta weekend. That's right, Josh. The first ever DECA Trifecta weekend, right? So DECA Mile, DECA Heavy. I should probably learn the names of these events before I get there. DECA Fit, all in one weekend, right? I think they're working on some names to get there. Stay tuned on that. I will be doing coverage throughout the weekend. And then the very next week, and then I come back, and the very next week is Hildervaart.
Battle on the beach.
Battle on the beach. So I'll be there too. So Josh, you're going to help me with the Hildervaarts, right?
I am going to do my best to help you with Hildertown, yes.
Okay, what about the week before? There's another Savage. I just realized looking at my calendar.
Yeah, 5/15. I am in Austin that weekend, so I will not be there.
All right, well we got to get that on there.
You got to get what on there?
Got to get somebody on there.
Well, you and Bracken are yes, so you're on there.
I can't be though. Now I'm going to DECA. I got to figure this out.
Well, you should probably change that. Change that indicator then.
We've got, let's see, what is the race? Ohio.
Yeah. Savage, Ohio.
Do you have Bracken as a yes?
Bracken shows as a yes.
All right. Maybe we'll have a special guest. Maybe it'll be Kirk. Maybe it'll be, let's talk to Bracken. I'm going to send Bracken a...
Maybe we should put Ricky in there. Let's call Ricky up from the minors.
Ricky, you just depressed the audience.
Let's get Gary in there. Do you think they would let him do that?
I gotta say, that Gary, what a treat.
What a gem.
What a funny fucking guy that guy. Man, do I like that guy. He is hilarious.
What a gem.
He really is. I got to spend time with him at the Ragnar, and then he spent the night at my house one night, and man, just a hoot and a holler. Just had me in stitches.
In stitches.
Josh, do you know how many days it is until Ode to Laz? The mug I'm holding right now.
Alexa, how many days until July 9th?
Friday, July 9th, 2021 is in 67 days.
67 days, Matt.
So 67 days means about 50-something days of actual training before the taper begins.
I have to, I got this back issue that popped up.
Uh-oh.
No, it's just like when you lean over and pull something because you're old.
Or you sneeze, or you fart, and you go, oh.
No, usually if I sneeze, it's right in the neck region from like trapezius up to like whatever C1 is in your spine. That's what happens to me when I sneeze. But lower back is like, I don't know if I lifted something wrong or twisted the wrong way or whatever. Or I just sit at this fucking desk way too long all day.
Probably.
But I'm doing okay. Got the old CBD rub in there. I got the thermo pack. I got the little gun. Just I'm hitting it from every direction.
I want you to be full strength. It's not fun to beat someone who's injured. I want you to be at full strength, Josh, for Ode to Laz.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll be okay. I gotta schedule my test run for all my gear and how I want to handle like transition and stuff.
Yeah, so I've now do walking on every run now. Just to start the mode, right? So
you do walk on every run? What?
Like walking, like I did for my FKT, like walk from the first mile instead of later.
Gotcha.
So just getting into that habit of forcing myself to walk sooner than I want to thing. So now that's every run, no matter what. I'm doing that.
All right. I'm excited for this one. I'm not training long distance. I'm still going to stick with whatever my training plan is. And I know I've talked to Justin about, making sure that we beat Matt.
Who's Justin?
My trainer.
Oh, okay.
Making sure that we beat Matt at Ode to Laz. So I'm sure, after Austin, things will start ramping up mileage wise. But I mean, I did the Yeti 24-hour ultra with Molly 2 weeks ago. And I didn't have any issue getting back out there every couple hours to run 5 miles and change. So I'm fully confident that I'm going to beat you. And I apologize in advance for making you look silly and dragging you out to Detroit just to destroy you,
Josh,
physically, mentally.
I'm so confident I'm going to beat you that I'm not even worrying about you. I'm worried about the people that are going to the end. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about this guy Chris Calamano, who did my ultravirus and who I interviewed once, but it never made the air, is just this lunatic. Mm-hmm. And even when I texted him, I was like, "Hey, I heard you're coming to Ode to Laz." He's like, "You heard wrong. I'm coming to win Ode to Laz." He's a lunatic, and he won a biking thing. He won a biking 24-hour thing or whatever. He's just kind of a fucking New York lunatic guy. I'm worried about him.
Yeah, no, that's like showing up to the park and worrying about beating Usain Bolt when you should probably worry about the guys right next to you. But by all means, focus on that dude. Absolutely.
Well, so crew update. Do you know Luke Skyrunner?
I do know Luke Skyrunner.
So Luke says he is going to make a trip out of it. We had talked early on, so it looks like he's coming. And then I think I've got of Mike and Caitlin, I think I've got Mike. What about you?
I literally have nobody, Matt. So I've got Molly.
Are you serious about beating me, Josh? Because you might want to look into that.
Well, first off, you're hiring professional help here.
Well, hiring, if you mean asking friends to help, yes. Those people, you can't survive in a last man standing race by yourself, Josh. I know I don't need to tell you this, and I probably shouldn't. But if you want to wing it, then you won't last very long.
Well, I'm not winging it. I have Molly will be there, but how sweet would it be to beat you without even needing a crew?
That would be amazing.
It would be. No, I don't. I have Molly's going to be there, and then if Mike and Caitlin are going to be there, then I've got one of them if they're willing to help. I'm not assuming. I haven't even talked to them about it yet. So if you're getting ringers involved, then.
I mean, I really shouldn't give you any advice whatsoever, but yeah, if you're going to be dumb enough to show up with nobody and think you're going to last more than a couple of laps, then you're in trouble, buddy.
You think I can't just pick up now and go run 30 miles?
You just completely broke up. I didn't hear any of that.
Fuck. I said, you think I can't just run 30 miles on a whim? Like I could knock out 30 miles like it's nothing. I could probably push 40, 50.
I'm sure you can, but that's not the goal of the race. The goal of the race is what happens to your body after those 30 or 50 miles. And if you don't have people helping you, it's going to be a lot worse.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, do whatever you want.
You ate Wendy's while you ran 60 miles. I'm pretty sure I can handle it.
Okay. I will give you no more tips. That's it. It's my last tip.
You didn't give me any tips.
Okay.
Your tip is I went and got somebody that's better than me and they're going to help me. That was your tip.
Well, Dr. L is still a possible. She's the real ringer because then you get mental and physical help. She's my real ringer. But she's a maybe at this point because she has.
I would just like to point out that I have called on nobody in the industry to come help me, whereas Matt is pulling together the Monstars to show up.
Because I want to win the race, Josh. That's why.
Well, that's fine. You have
the Monstar. Wait, is that a word? Monstars?
Yeah, it's from Space Jam, isn't it? Monstars.
Oh, is that their name of the team?
I don't know. I've never seen it. Yeah, Matt is using the considerable resources at his disposal, whereas I don't have that. So,
Josh, you have a platform. You're on this show, the first or second most listened to podcast week in, week out. I mean, Running Public, it's a lot of downloads. I don't know how many, but we're definitely up there.
All right,
thousands of people listen to this program.
When we get closer, we'll figure it out.
Okay. All right. So the next two notes are yours. So you can have the next two notes. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna get a cup of coffee. Tell people to get in the Discord. Maybe we'll break 1,000. We should give something away, by the way, if we break 1,000, or you should give something away.
I will give something away.
Hang on, I'm gonna go get some coffee.
Just another show where Matt gets up mid-show and just goes and gets coffee. Busy weekend this weekend. Spartan, Montana. We'll talk about that in a second. Savage, Maryland, obviously. We got live coverage everywhere. But if you don't have live coverage, what do you want? You want to talk about this crap 24/7, and the only place to do that is on the Discord. I will speak slowly, so I give you time to do it. Go to your web browser, open it up, and type bit.ly/OCR chat. Join us in the Discord. It's the place to be. I want a famous person in the Discord. I want another famous person. God bless you. We need we got Miguel in there, winner of the Montana Ultra. We need some top brass, some top men.
Miguel wants a new color.
Okay. Well, I think I can put him as pro athlete. So.
Well, that's what he said.
Is he on the pro team?
No, but he says everyone in the Discord says I should have a new color. So can I have that new color now? I said I'll ask Josh. So you'll listen. I hope you listen to it. I know you never listen to the show anymore, but Miguel will be on. I'm going to put him up today. Fucking surprise Monday episode.
Miguel's a pro athlete
and a great dude. Just a good dude. I loved catching up with him. If you're listening to this now, you might have already heard it because that's what happens. The past. When will now be then?
Soon. That is how that works.
Okay.
You're looking at now.
Josh, before I was even friends with you, that was one of my favorite lines. And now it's even more because we get to do it every fucking week. All right, I've been recording the audio this whole time. I haven't been recording the video. I'm going to start recording the video. This is my backup. Thank God I've been recording the audio. That would suck if I wasn't. It would really suck.
It would be on brand, though.
It would be on brand. Josh, what are those next two notes? I want you to dive into them.
All right. We got some Spartan, California updates. This is a little out of time now because we've already really covered this shit, but might as well talk about it. California got rejiggered by Spartan, so all kinds of things happened.
I was so confused, Josh. I was so confused by the wording of that. Whose fault is that? Is that Gary?
No, it's your fault.
I
mean, it's pretty straightforward. You just have to read it.
It's not pretty straightforward. People were asking questions. People were like, what do they mean still?
Yeah, but all those people didn't read it.
Josh, I read it 6 times.
Now, there is one confusing thing that was wrong in here, and that's probably Gary's fault. But Gary did correct it. You still there? Can you hear me?
I couldn't.
You frozen. You there?
Now I can.
Okay. Big Bear. It was mid-May, right? May 15th, 16th. It was postponed to a TBD date. It was just in the ether. So Big Bear is now scheduled for October 16th and 17th.
Okay.
It'll take place at the same location. And then what they said was the Spartan Beast will still be a U.S. National Series race at Big Bear. However, it was the Big Bear Super that was the National Series race.
Right.
The Spartan Super is the U.S. National Series race. The Beast is not a part of that. So what happened was SoCal Spartan, SoCal number 2.
Lebec.
I don't know. All I know is
It's
SoCal
important.
number 2.
Cities are important, though, because that's the thing. They say NorCal, SoCal. These are big fucking areas.
Well, it's not important because if you want to find it, you have to search SoCal Spartan. That was originally scheduled for October 16th and 17th. That has been pushed back about a month to November 20th and 21st. That was the date San Luis Obispo was postponed to. Now San Luis Obispo falls to 2022. So now that's in March of 2022. And they are actively identifying what will be a 5th U.S. National Series location. We should find that out within the next 2 weeks.
All they had to do, Josh.
Lots of pieces. The pieces are. Wait, the board is set. The pieces are moving.
Josh, all they had to do was have Gary or somebody make a fucking video with visual aids. It would have taken 10 minutes, and it'd be.
We got that. It's called Zendesk.
You don't have that. I read the thing 6 times.
Yeah, but
Also, don't be a dick. Don't just say it's Zendesk. Help your fucking customers. Make a 5-minute video.
now,
Guess what else it causes?
Now,
Engagement. Like, great, people are commenting, blah, blah, blah.
Now, for those of you that don't know, if you ever just ask Matt a simple question and try and get a simple answer because you think you're friends with Matt and you just want a quick answer, and maybe you're driving in the car and you don't have the means to Google properly, Matt's going to go, hey, fuckwad, there's this thing called Google invented 20 years ago. Why don't you Google it instead of asking me? It's clever and unique that Matt now says, just ask.
Spartan should make it, because I'm not Spartan fucking customer service. Spartan customer service should be Spartan customer service.
Yeah. The Zendesk has everything you need to know
Listen,
about.
if you're me and you've spent the last 10 years going, hey, Matt, I just watched your video about this, or Matt, I just read your article about this, but can you tell me 5 more things? Or Matt, I didn't read your article about this. Could you tell me 5 more things?
What a burden that you're the resource in this community that people want to reach out and talk to the one person that seems to be in the know. How dare they? How dare they? The audacity of some of these people that they just want to connect with the one guy that they think knows the information.
You're like, it'd be hilarious if the roles were reversed.
Well, they're not.
What's that from? I love crowds, but I hate people, or I hate people, but I love. What is that? Is that what do you call it?
The Mallrats one is the best one for me. What do you dislike about this job? The customers. Which ones? All of them. This job would be great if it wasn't for the fucking customers.
All right, so it's the prequel to that, okay, which is called
Clerks.
Clerks.
Yeah, it wasn't even Mallrats. It was Clerks. I was just quoting. I mixed up my Kevin Smith.
Right. So in Clerks, he says, I love crowds, but I hate people. Go figure. Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Josh, listen, I love interacting with the community. I really do. Just don't ask me a question about like a thing that I just posted or that are like, I don't know.
Well, but Matt,
especially COVID stuff. You think I know anything else about these fucking cities that nobody else knows? Come on, man.
But Matt, you have to take it as you either could have included more information and didn't have it, or caveat it and say, this is all the information we have at this time. For more information, go to Spartan Zen. Can we just set up a bit.ly? bit.ly/Spartan Zendesk. Everything you need, just go right there. I'll set it up right now.
Please do.
If you're in the Discord, all you have to do is ! Zendesk, and well, boom, the bot gives you a good link to it.
I wasn't joking. I had a boomer moment. I forgot you had done that, and I was like, we should just have this when people have questions. And you're like, we do. Bam, Zendesk.
We do. Oh, speaking of boomer moments, can we just talk about your mouse troubles that you had yesterday?
Okay, so guess what fixed it, by the way? Reboot.
Trackpad.
I rebooted as soon as the show was over. 100% fixed. Duh.
I just love that you two were stuck on it was like the lawyer cat where he couldn't figure out how to get off the cat.
Guys, I assure you I'm not a cat.
Like, how do you feel about this map? And we just stared at the map for 5 minutes.
So it was so bizarre. It was like the mouse, once I opened any other app, the mouse would disappear. And you know how you can sort of figure it out anyway? You sort of drag it where it should go. It was a mess, Josh. And
Because you had full screen sharing on.
Is that why?
Yep.
I don't think that was it.
It was. The mouse goes away when you full screen share like that. Just got to hit escape.
I'm telling you that didn't work because I did it and then it kept popping back up. Like I'd accidentally go to email. Anyway, I thought it was the battery. That seems like the logical choice, right? The old mouse and the battery. Didn't fix it. And like we all know, what solves 99% of all problems, Josh?
A good old reboot.
A fucking reboot. And I know that. And I was in a panic. I was in a panic, Josh. Thank God it wasn't, important information. Update. Bracken is now currently working on his co-host. This could be interesting. We could end up with some new voice in the sport.
We could get supplanted by, if it's Nick Riker, I'm done. Come out.
It's gonna Nick. I think he'll make a wise choice.
Let's talk about some more good COVID news.
What's that, Josh?
Massachusetts is sort of fixing its shit.
Can I run that? Hang on. I'm gonna run that on the bottom, Josh.
For nobody. Massachusetts has announced that they're going to be allowing races to happen in person, assuming that they have staggered starts, which Savage does and Spartan does. Now, Spartan Boston, which was May 22nd, 23rd, something like that, has already been postponed, so that will not happen as scheduled. However, Savage has their fingers crossed for a July event happening in Massachusetts. Bone Frog in June, also happening. And that's already approved. So we got things happening in Massachusetts, and in the meantime, Tough Mudders in New Hampshire. So that's happening. We got some events in the Northeast.
Josh, I fell in love with you at that event, buddy. I feel that's what I feel special about Loudon, New Hampshire.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Me, you and Josh Grant took a lap together.
Yep.
Then you drove down to Spartan the same day because you're a fucking honk. Is it true or not?
Okay. Was it Spartan?
I feel like maybe we had a meal the first day, and then the Sunday I think you drove down and did the Spartan.
Might have been that.
It was like a Western Mass Spartan that you did on the same day.
Might have been that.
But yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah, that was my first Tough Mudder.
2016.
Certainly not my last. Always happy when that one pops up on the old Facebook memories.
Right.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
When's the next Tough Mudder? That happens soon too, right? Missouri in May.
Hang on, Emma. What you doing? Emma gets to do what she wants. She's the good kid. Boys have to go back to fucking school. When they started going back to school 2 days a week, boys, get the fuck out of here. Emma, what do you want to do? Stay home? Awesome. You're cool. You're good.
You're good. You don't even need to do class today. You're fine.
But
speaking of that,
you are going back in the fall, goddammit. 5 days.
Your days are numbered, woman. Let me ask you a question, Matt. I'm going to ask what kind of person you are by talking about my last semester of school.
Okay, I'm an INTJ, I think.
Okay, I'm an INFP, I think is I am.
What's the loud asshole entrepreneur type? That's what I am. It's not INTJ.
The IN is definitely the
introvert.
Is it?
I
don't think so.
I is an introvert?
I don't know.
Hang on. Unknown name from Mableton is calling me. Should I pick it up?
Yeah, totally. Answer. Get him on the show.
All right, hang on. Hi, you're live with Davis and Chase.
We've been meaning to talk to you about your car's warranty.
Who's this? From? Oh, I am looking at homes. That's right. Hey, Kurt. Your phone says unknown name, man. You got to fix that. Oh, I assumed you were a scam. All right, let me call you back. I don't know if I can call you back. It's gonna come up as unknown name. I don't know if it's gonna come up. Text me your number.
Text me your number.
No, it's fine. Listen, let me call you back. All right, bye.
Well, that did not go as planned.
Yeah, recents. Unknown name. Oh, no, there's the number. Where were we?
All right, Matt, the mediator, INFP, is someone who possesses introverted, intuitive, feeling, and perspective personality traits. Although they may seem quiet or unassuming, mediators have vibrant, passionate inner lives. I don't know if this is me. I'm going to have to take this test again. What is that, Briggs-Meyer? Is that test? It's Briggs-Meyer? Yeah, I'm going to do that again.
Is it Rorschach? What's the loud asshole? Which one is that? That's me.
Who Briggs-Meyer, loud asshole type. The Briggs-Meyer asshole index is the first thing that comes up at zombiesintelligently.com. ENFP, slightly hippish. The ENFP is often one to black out after one drink. Oh, that went a different direction. Okay, let me get back to my original. Jesus, let me get back to my original question. Jamie, can we get a glass of water over here? Matt heaves. He's not even on the camera or mic. He might be dead on the floor. Matt heaves like a cat losing a hairball when he coughs. If you've never seen it, I highly encourage you to see it. Matt, last semester I took like foundations of science at school, just a gen ed garbage class. No, it wasn't even science. If I was learning about like biology, I'd be cool with that. But it was like asking questions and determining sources, like shit nobody. I mean, it's good to have and use, but I was just not interested in it. The final week of class comes around. I've got an A in class because you can see your grades as you go. My final project rolls around. Hi, go away. My final project rolls around, and I get a straight up D+ on this sucker.
Wow.
I bombed this thing because I didn't care. I did it like 3 hours before the deadline. And I looked at my score, and no matter I didn't even have to turn it in, and I would have gotten at least a B+ just based on the averages, right?
Right.
So I submit this honker of a final, right? It's just a stinker. And the professor emails me back. First off, I missed a whole section of stuff that I should have had to do. But again, my heart wasn't in it.
Right.
So I got an A- with the D+ in my final. My overall grade is A-. The professor emails me back. Josh, it looks like you missed the 3 sections on such and such from the rubric. If you'd like to resubmit it, I'll give you full credit. Just send it in to me by the end of the week. Matt, what do you think I did in that case?
Thank you, but I'm good.
I'm good. I'm fine with the A-. That is not a blemish on my record. I'm sorry that my final performance is going to leave you with a bad taste in your mouth for Josh Chase's college career, but I'm good. I'm good. These are awful. What else we got?
What's it like to take classes and have absolutely zero pressure to perform well?
Well, I mean, you have to perform well. The class doesn't get paid for if you don't get above a C. So I mean, you have to.
So there is something. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I mean, I could generally coast through and get a C without too much of an issue.
Unlike a last man standing race where you're going to absolutely bomb without preparing, this class you could sleepwalk through and still get a C.
Correct. Yes, catch me at 2 a.m. when I'm sleepwalking at O to less. I am looking forward to that lucid. What's the word when you see things?
Lucid dreams?
No, when you see things that aren't there. What's the word? There's a word for it. People. I want hyperventilating. That's not the one. I'm making things up in my mind and I'm seeing things that are not there. What is the word? Hallucinating. Thank you. I'm looking forward to the hallucination hours at the 24 hour mark. So yeah, Matt.
Yes.
You put nano in the notes.
Oh.
Would you like to explain?
Well, my wife and I wanted to help Jackson. We've given Jackson phones and computers and PS4s, and he's just not quite mature enough to handle them and or break them. So my wife had this idea. What if we got him like one of those old MP3 players? Put a bunch of songs on it, and then he can have his tunes. But not a phone. Like right now, he literally has a flip phone.
Yeah.
And like so we can track him down, and like he leaves it in the house half the time. He broke the first one within like days, and the second one I said, if this one doesn't last a week, we're not even gonna fucking bother. This one's actually lasted a couple of weeks. Little cricket phone. So I'm like, yeah, we'll just get him a nano, and that'll be kind of cool. And like his first thought was like, my friends are gonna make fun of me. This is old. I'm like, I don't like. Who fucking cares? You'll have your tunes, man. So I go to my laptop here, and I'm like, well, I know all the songs he likes and listens to, and I'll just move them over. And it's not letting me move them over, Josh. It's like, you can't move this over because it's not downloaded. And I was like, all right, well, so I'll download. So you hit download, and then it still wouldn't let me move them over. So just for the heck of it, I was like, does it want me to purchase things? Because like I have the family plan. Like I shouldn't have to purchase these things. So I bought a song or an album and moved it over, and it worked fine. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yep.
So, are you telling me that my $14.99 a month does not get me the ability to move things from my laptop to a device?
A non-connected device. Yes, that's correct.
So, I would have to pay for some kind of plan. That's the only way that works.
No, you would have to purchase the actual music. You would have to buy the album and then it is yours till the service ends.
So when I'm downloading it, it's downloaded. Why isn't that working?
So it's saving it to your device, which means if you are without internet, you can still listen to it. Like I'm a Spotify person, right? I can download a playlist, so it saves it my device. So if I go on a plane and I don't have access to the internet, I can still listen to that music. However, I cannot take that music and transfer it to another device, which is what you're attempting to do.
Well, fuck me, Josh.
Yeah. Yeah, Nanos were the shit, right? You could download. I mean, Matt, I could probably just send you a link where you can pirate some music if that's what you want to do.
That'd be great.
Okay, cool. You know, Nanos and the old iPods, right? Those were great. You just went to old LimeWire, downloaded all the albums you wanted, and threw them on the device, and boom, there you go.
In my day, it was Kazaa. But I never even bothered. I wasn't that. You think I need Tech Corner help now? Back then, I was like, I never fucking bothered.
Yep. So.
Because I had a million CDs and I just kind of didn't care or whatever. Well, this was a bummer to me, Josh, big time. So maybe we'll send it back. I don't know. Or no, send me a link or whatever. Because that was a very frustrating moment. Because first thing I did was actually because I don't sync my phone and my computer, right? Like I don't need every fucking podcast, and it always accidentally does the fucking voice memos and all these podcast interviews I've done, and it just takes up all the space, and so I don't even have them synced. But I was like, well, I'll have to sync it first, so I'll sync my phone to my laptop and then go from the laptop to the thing. So now I got to unsync it to save all this fucking space. God damn it! That's why I put it in.
Yeah, it's not it's no longer ideal. Like I get streaming services are very convenient and all that, but the ability to this is the biggest thing is you just don't own anything. Like you're paying money for all this crap. You get nothing. Good day, sir. You get nothing for it. You're just literally giving money to somebody in hopes that this service will still be around in years when you want it. I saw Spotify's prices going up. So I don't pay for Spotify anyway.
Well, speaking of which, we've been watching a whole lot of Hulu lately, and Jesus fucking Christ, is it the same fucking ads over and over again? It's this lady and her fucking cat with a Peloton ad. It's this car commercial with this horrible fucking hipster Mumford & Sons fucking song. I literally turn the volume down when the ads come on. And I was like, how much is ad free? I was like, is it a lot? And I looked and it was like $14.99 or $11.99. Not a lot. However, I think I lose my bundle, don't I? Like I lose my Disney, Hulu, ESPN bundle.
No, there should be an upsell. I don't know for sure, but there should be like an upsell opportunity that is ad free, because guess what? Ads are going to come to Disney Plus. Like their HBO is already launching an ad supported version of HBO Max. So it's happening one way or another. Everything is going to be ad supported and ad free.
We'll get back to that because I meant to put this on the notes and I didn't, Josh. Have you seen Nomadland, Josh?
I've not seen Nomadland or Minari or Niku or any of those Oscar nominated films.
Josh, I'm gonna give you a preview of Nomadland. Would you like it?
I would love it because I'm totally going to watch this flick.
Do you like shots of mass expanses of nothing? Just America with no one in the frame, and then when they're
I've been to South Dakota, so yeah.
And then when they're in the frame, they say very little and just kind of look at each other, and you're just supposed to sort of take it in that they're fucking nomads. Then Nomadland is almost 2-hour journey for you, Josh.
It's almost like the land is full of nomads. And they made a movie about that?
Josh, I'm a pretty hip guy, okay? I don't need fucking Marvel explosions, okay? I don't need The Rock. I can deal with a subtle...
Everybody needs The Rock.
Your Apple ID is now being used for FaceTime on a new Mac. If you recently signed into Matt's MacBook Pro, you can ignore this notification. Emma! What's going on?
Who's doing the FaceTimes?
I have so many notifications, which means my kids are using shit or I'm being ripped off. I have no idea, right? Like, there's, you know what I mean? Netflix is being signed into. It's like, I hope it's my kids. Josh, I don't need fucking explosions every 20 minutes, right? I can take a moment. I can take a pause. But third way into this thing, you're like, okay, I think I know where this is going. So let's what's the word? How do you do that?
Let's speed it up.
Wrap it up, kids.
Wrap it up.
So my wife and I talked about it at the end. And so we were talking about it and we're like, well, we are talking about it. So is that the fucking point? Like, like, can you be happy is essentially the question. Like, was she happy? Like without anything? Or was she not happy? Because it's kind of tough to tell. Like, I'm just going to spoil it for a lot of people. She's lost her husband. So she's just kind of trying to figure out what the fuck to do with life. But it's also a way for her to like kind of push people away. Like the one cool thing about it is about 2 minutes into it, you're like, oh, these are all real people. Like when they get real people as the cast, and you can tell like these are real fucking people. These are real nomads, right? Or the people at the Amazon plant. She works in an Amazon plant part-time. Like these are not actors, and that's kind of cool. But then the one guy shows up who's an actor, and you're like, all right, that's the love interest. And she kind of like, he wants to get close to her, and she kind of doesn't, because she just doesn't want to be close to people. So that's kind of the question is like, and I was like, honey, I think she's happy. She's out there in the great beyond, the great mass of space. And I think she's happy. Stacy disagreed. But yeah, Josh, if you like with the 10 things I just described, that's in 2 hours of your life, you're never going to fucking get back. That's Nomadland.
It sounds like the worst movie I've seen in a long time, and I've seen some real hot garbage.
No, I mean, Josh, I've turned off a lot of movies. Trust me, I've turned off an awful lot of movies. So here's something I learned, by the way. Speaking of things, like you see a lot of movies that you're surprised exist, right? Like even before COVID, you'll see like 3 stars you recognize.
Can you like G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra?
And you'll be like, well, this is probably pretty good, right? Like, but then you watch the trailer and you're like, no, this is going to be a piece of shit. And so apparently, Josh, Hollywood, very wise, always trying to make a buck off of fucking nothing. They pay like Bruce Willis for like a day, right? And they stick his name on the poster and they put him on, you know, he's in 2 scenes, but yeah, they can sell that fucking movie like overseas and to the streaming platforms. Yeah,
it's like that. You ever see that movie Life? Jake Gyllenhaal, and it's about an alien from outer space.
First of all, I'm pretty sure it's a soft G. I'm pretty sure they're the Gyllenhaals, but go ahead.
Gyllenhaal. I believe they're Nordic. It's got Ryan Reynolds in it, and I was like, all right, a movie with Ryan Reynolds, great. He's dead in 4 minutes. Sorry if you've never seen Life.
Why did you spoil that for me?
I just got robbed of quality Ryan Reynolds time.
Right.
But spoiler alert, it's actually a pretty good movie. It's like, you know, it's a cheesy space sci-fi thriller, but it was pretty good. Matt, have we talked about movies that you've ever walked out of? Have you ever walked out of a movie? Like in the movie theater, you're like, fuck this, I'm done.
2. Yeah.
I think me as well, actually.
Do you want to hear the first one? Because it's the first.
The titles of the movies way shock you. Scientists hate this guy. Yeah, tell me.
The first one is a classic that it's like you'd think I'm making this up, Josh. You'd think this is like a Ringer rewatchables thing, but it's real. Are you ready for it?
Yep.
Howard the Duck.
I get that, though. I get that. Who's the woman in it?
Leah Thompson.
Leah Thompson had sex with a duck. So I get walking out of the theater.
That was number one. That was like Howard the Duck. This 30 minutes in, I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Yep.
Oh, man, there's another one that's kind of obvious too, but I can't think of it right now. I can tell you the movie that Stacy wanted to walk out of, which she's told the story before, where I farted so much. And it was always really loud. Oh, it was the movie about, let me Google this. It's much better when she tells the story. Any story that involves me farting a lot is much better if she tells the story.
So she didn't walk out because the movie bad, she out because of mental distress?
Kurt Cobain. It's the movie where it's kind of supposed to be Kurt Cobain, but it really isn't.
The Doors?
What's that?
The Doors?
It's not a documentary. What the fuck is it called? Because you're going to laugh when I tell you the story. And it's by, I think it's a Gus Van movie, of course. Last Days, 2005. So Stacey and I are dating less than a year, okay? And it's a very, speaking of quiet movies, you're basically watching a Kurt Cobain avatar. Like, it's not Kurt, but it is, right? Just kind of walk around and be depressed in this house. So it's a very quiet movie. And I just happened to be super gassy that day. And, like, it started with, like, people in the front of us, like, turning around, like, because they can't believe it. And then eventually moving to the other side of the theater. And Stacy is, like, horrified. And she's like, we are not walking out of this movie until everyone leaves the theater. Like, we can't possibly walk out, like, when the credits start rolling. We might have ended up walking. I think she did walk. I can't remember the story now. It's 2005. We might have walked out in the middle because she's like, I can't stay for the end. This is too horrible. But yeah, lots of quiet scenes. Last Days, 2005. Kind of about the same pace as Nomadland.
I'm gonna check the dates on these because I feel like, all right, that was 2008. No, wait, hang on, that's different. Oh, 8 millimeter, not 9 millimeter. Okay, that was 99. All right, so very far off. I walked out of two movies. One was in 1993. I don't understand why I walked out at the time, but I walked out on Groundhog Day. It was 93. I was like a freshman in high school. I just don't think I got Bill Murray at that point
One of
yet.
those beloved movies in Americana.
I know, and I love that movie now, but I think once it started like looping, I was like, I'm done with this. And then I walked out of 8 millimeter, which was a Nicolas Cage movie.
Oh my God. It's a great movie.
Investigating like snuff films. But also I was still like a teenager, and I was like, I don't want to see this.
Right.
So,
No, it's definitely a lot to take. I only recently watched it because of the rewatchables. I think I might have seen it on cable once or parts of it once. But I mean, if you go back and watch it, you've got a phenomenal Gandolfini performance. You've got a great what's his name performance, a young Joaquin Phoenix, and you've got Nick Cage just starting to be Nick Cage.
Right.
Like he wasn't full on Nick Cage yet, but towards the end he becomes Nick Cage. So yeah, that's worth a rewatch for sure.
All right, I might have to. I've obviously rewatched Groundhog Day time and time again.
Don't watch it with your girlfriend. Don't watch it with
Okay.
with Molly. 8 millimeter.
Okay.
Because it is a bizarre plot for sure.
It's a very bizarre plot, obviously, but we spent a good amount of time driving this weekend. I'm getting exposed to a new style of podcast, and that's murder podcasts. It's not for you. You cannot handle it at all. But it's these two girls, Ash and somebody. The podcast is called Morbid. Molly got it from a bunch of people. I think Dr. L recommended it. But it's two girls. One of them, like, the girl's a hairdresser. The older girl is like a morgue technician or something like that. And they just talk about famous murderers and in detail. And that's where I'll end it. So my view on people is very different at the end of it.
Because Stacy is on this kick now. And I noticed people talking in the Discord a little bit about it. So I don't know if you are aware of this, Josh, but shows about policemen, firemen, and hospitals have been a popular trope for a while. Procedural dramas, we call them. So Stacy went through all the 911s and then all the Austin 911s. Then she went on to Station 19. She finished those. So now she started, it's not called The Practice or The Intern, The Something. The Resident. Okay.
The Resident. Yep.
And The Resident has all the great drama you would love, right? Evil doctors, the Who Slept with Who.
Hunky interns.
But then they've got a couple of really gross scenes that I can only imagine they do because of like the Game of Thrones factor. Because I said to Stacy, I go, this is like, like you're like, you go, but
you're like, network TV, what the fuck?
But then it goes on for like 20 more seconds. And I'm like, Stacy, why are they doing this? And it finally occurred to me like, oh, this is like Game of Thrones. Like, why did Game of Thrones have to do that? They didn't, but they know people love/hate it. And so I've got to like turn away. And one thing about Hulu, shitty fast forward capabilities. Can we talk, Josh, to your people about that?
A lot of these streaming services have really bad fast forward.
8:16:32. So you think 32 is super fast? No, it's just 32 seconds, I think. Because when I watch SNL, I almost always skip the musical act, and it takes like 8 minutes to fast forward through a 3-minute song.
Oh, Elon Musk was on SNL this weekend. I gotta catch that.
He wasn't.
Oh,
we were duped. It's
what?
This week. It's this week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought my crypto was going to go to the moon because he was on, but it's next.
I know. My Dogecoin. It's just sitting there floundering currently.
It's Doge, or if you're joking, doggy. It's not whatever you just said.
It's Dogecoin for me.
Josh,
that's my Doge.
Josh, you laugh. I made $800 a couple weeks ago on the old doggy coin. You laugh.
Good for you, man. No, I mean I have some too.
Oh, okay.
So I got a few.
Oh, well, Josh, I'm doing Crypto Corner. Do you know this? I got a crypto episode coming up. Do you know this?
Didn't you already have a crypto episode?
No.
No. Maybe you teased it in the Discord, and that's where I've heard it before. I knew you were talking about crypto with somebody. I got the old Stonks Corner here.
So Woodsy and I started talking a couple weeks ago about it. Woodsy's all in. Woodsy is either going to be the richest obstacle racer we know or the brokest.
That's usually how that works.
But then down in Decatime, down in Hyrox land, old school racers / fitness couple of the year 2017, Alex Nicholas and Cassidy Watton were there, and Alex is like has been in it since the early days. So I don't know if he will reveal his portfolio amount or not, but it's a few dollars. He's been in since like 2012. So that we're on a text thread now, and I said, well, we should do it. We should there's probably people who are curious about it. Not the super boring. This is what crypto means for the future and banks, and like you can watch 100.
Yeah, nobody cares about that.
You can watch 100 docs on that.
Just tell me where I can put my money so I can retire tomorrow. That's all anybody cares about.
But then, speaking of which, look, they just texted me. But then, and they're into the altcoins as they're called, Josh, the Doge of the world, all these wacky altcoins. Then Sam from Savage, who is what they call a maximalist. He only believes in Bitcoin. So we're gonna take both sides of the coin, if you will.
Zing.
Josh, do you understand what total market cap means?
Nope. I know that I put my money in my Fidelity account, and I hope that man does something for me.
Well, total global market cap just hit a new all-time high of 2.3 trillion, Josh. I can tell you that.
I believe is that related to like how much people are trading, like the volume of trades? I don't know.
Hey Siri, do you love the new of Siri? I do.
Mm-hmm. No, because here's the thing a lot of people don't realize.
Hang on. Hey Siri, what does total market cap mean?
It's the total market value. It's how much the bloody thing is worth. What a lot of people don't realize with Siri, and this is what bugs me and what makes Siri so
she's
awkward.
A fucking cunt. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's really violent against Siri. Is you don't have to wait for Siri to respond. So if you want to text something, you just say it all in one thing. Hey Siri, text Molly, I love her.
No, fuck her. I'm not telling her that.
Well, no, because the text message says I love her, where it should say I love you. But like people go, hey Siri, but set an alarm. And then it fucks up. Like, just say it. Say it like you're having a conversation with somebody.
If you're older, like me, in the old days, you had to wait for her. So we're used to that.
You mean 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't say it fast enough, she gives you a quick mm-hmm. It's very adorable. Now, your Siri is different than my Siri. You changed yours.
Yeah, I have the British Siri.
Hey Siri, tell Josh Chase I love her. Yep.
Matt B. Davis says, I love her.
Hey, Siri. What can you tell me about Josh Chase? Let's not go down this rabbit hole of Siri. What the hell were we talking about?
Stonks.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, I'm trying to get that together. We're going to have a little crypto chat.
Crypto.
I've got most of it in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, and I have a little bit in Doge. That's where I'm at these days. What about you?
Let me pull up the old portfolio. I can't trade Bitcoin on Robinhood because for some reason New Hampshire does not allow you to do that. So I've got I have a little bit in Bitcoin, a little bit in Doge, and then a few other hot stocks.
So Coinbase is kind of the main one, right? It's the one most people use, but then you can't trade a lot of the altcoins on that. So I have Binance. There's a third one. Well, there's several, but this thing Kuko, I know Woodsy's on that one too.
Yeah, I use Kraken.
Bracken has his own. Has his own crypto.
Yep. Bracken Kraken.
Who would we have to know? What would we have to do to create a coin, Josh? It's just mining. It's just computer. It's just CPU power. Could you and I create a coin?
We could, but
why don't we create an OCR coin?
We could
and put like Ryan Atkins as the symbol.
Yeah, Sunto. By the way,
Sunto
flying in a plane. Can we just talk about the Atkinses for a second?
Oh, that they're drug smugglers now? Yes.
They literally flew a low altitude border transition from Canada to the U.S. with dog and cat in tow, and Sunto's just looking out the window of the plane like, this is dope. I'm a dog. Now I'm up in the air.
Now I don't want to pull a Jay Glazer on you, Josh. So you know who that is. But
he's the asshole yelly guy from ESPN or football or whatever.
Correct. But I did, in fact, have this weeks ago. According to my sources, that's Adam Schefter. Like we had talked about this. Like they were like we were talking about. I think the national series. This is like way during COVID, and I was like, "Can you guys come? What's the deal?" And they're like, "Well, if we really have to, his dad could sneak us across because his dad's a pilot." But I did not know they were going to make this public fucking knowledge. So now everybody
you're not sneaking, right? You're really not sneaking. Like you can travel in now. You just have to quarantine, which they can do, obviously. But yeah, think about that. Hey, Dad, need a flight to the States on the low. I got you.
Right.
I got you, kid.
Right.
What a family. A pilot, a unicyclist. My God.
Is there anything they can't do?
No, there's nothing. Lindsay has her own line of bagels and muffins, apparently. Like, there's nothing they can't do.
Lindsay, if you need a consultant for the bagels, if you need a Jew consultant, I wonder how many Canadian Jews there are. You don't really hear about that a lot. Hey, Josh, that's why this Hildervat is exciting. It is the return to racing for the Atkinses.
Yeah, that's their first competitive race since, Jesus, Jacksonville of 2020.
Now, Josh, I don't know if we should end on this. This has been a phenomenal episode.
This is a killer.
I don't know if you heard, but Hildervat did in fact release the sixth racer. Did you see who it was?
I didn't see who it is. Is it Bracken?
It is not Bracken.
Damn it.
It is not.
All right, give me a hint. I want to guess. Give me a hint.
I hate reels. I hate reels. But
You mean TikTok 2.0?
But I'm stupid enough to click on them, so then I just keep getting fed them. Mine are a lot of wrestling ones. And then, Josh, can we go here for a second?
All right.
Girls who look borderline fucking illegal, and it grosses me the fuck out, even if I didn't have a daughter.
Dude.
I'm like, is she 20 or 13? And this is not okay. That you are featuring this shit. That you are featuring this shit on your fucking app.
No, this is the perfect place for this rant right at the end of the episode where hopefully nobody will hear it. When Reels first came out, you pop into the Explore page and it suggests some shit.
Right.
The fact that this is kind of a two-pronged rant.
Okay.
The fact that Instagram promotes underage kids dancing to some of this shit is criminal.
Legit.
Criminal. Second, the fact that there are parents out there actively filming their kids, be like, yeah, baby, do that dance. And then they put on their account monitored by parents. Like, you are a bad human. Like, honestly, you're a bad human doing things like this. That's why I'm a huge proponent of kids not even being on social media. But again, I'm in the minority there. So yeah, that stuff is disgusting to me.
Well, as a parent of a kid who is on social media, it is like Emma doesn't. I should talk quieter. Emma does not like dress slutty, right? Like that's not her thing. But if one day she starts doing that, it's like, what am I gonna tell her not to? Is that gonna do anything? Is that gonna make her do it more? But yeah, the parents filming part, like I'm certainly not going to film her if she did that, right?
Right.
But the fact that that's my reel is it's a lot of college girls, it's a lot of college athletes, like that's the thing now, right?
Yep.
And I think that's like that's a thing though, and like the college girls, maybe they know it, maybe they don't, but that's a thing. Like, ooh, college girls, right? And so they're wearing their baseball uniform, right, or their whatever uniform, and they're doing a stupid fucking dance. Anyway. Where the fuck are we? Where the fuck was I?
The athlete for Hildervat. Now that we've buried it in this gross conversation.
Because I wanted to type in Hildervat. Although I like that people are calling it Hildervat as if it's foreign.
Hildervat.
Do you know who...
The Muffin Man?
Do you know the Muffin Man? It's in fact this guy.
Who? What? Who is that? I can't see anything. I see Sand Dollar Restaurant and Bar.
That's who it is. It's that restaurant.
Oh, that's who. Okay.
It is one.
You just scrolled. That's Woodsy.
This guy.
I don't know who that is.
But
should I know who that is?
You should say his name.
Ray Omar Rodriguez.
Ray Omar Rodriguez is apparently the fifth athlete. Now, I know that they were reaching out to several athletes. Tyler Veerman, early on, Leon was an option. Early on, Riker was an option. Both those guys are out. But they were also speaking to, I think, Tyler Veerman and who's the other guy?
Oh, I do know this guy. I mean, I know of this guy because I recognize the other photos.
But they went with this guy. I think he's local. Maybe that's why. But
yeah, probably.
I'm sure he's great, but I'm going to predict him sixth. I'm sure he's a good guy. Don't hate on me. Don't cancel me. But I'm guessing he's going to be 6 out of 6.
Well, they get $250, even if you don't win a race.
Logan Broadbent was another option.
He would have been a good one. He would have been sneaky good.
He's out of Puerto Rico, and I think he's new. And Kent was another one asked. Kent turned it down. So that's what we got. Ray.
What about Killian?
I don't know if Killian was asked. Or is he already going? No, he's not.
I don't think he's going.
No, I don't think he was asked. All right, Josh. This one was a good hour episode. Or hour and a half.
That was a doozy.
That was a doozy. Well, it helps when, you're in a race and we got a race coming up and exciting news happens, like Massachusetts almost gets their shit together.
We got actual stuff to talk about. It's great. We don't have to make things up as we go.
All right, quick plug. Obstacle Running Adventures. Mike Stefano had me on his episode, and I can say he absolutely asked me things no one has asked me, including what is my plan if OCR goes away, and what is the meaning of life? So find out how I answer those questions. I guarantee it'll be more interesting. Right now. I guarantee it'll be more interesting than Nomadland.
Catch you later, pal.
And we're out.
And we're clear.